The latest episode, Whispers of the Glen, left us all reeling, didn't it? Poor Elara, desperately trying to protect her unborn child while clinging to the hope that Finnegan would somehow find her. I certainly didn't see that ending coming. We know from Highland Echoes Season 1 that Lord Maxwell has other legitimate children after Lachlan, and from what we gather, their mother is Lady Isolde. So even if Elara manages to convince Maxwell that he's the father, she'll likely vanish before the baby arrives, right? Please tell me that's how it plays out. Let's dissect Whispers of the Glen and then delve into the Stone's Promise trailer to glimpse what awaits us. That opening scene, I still can't believe we got a dream sequence with Ailish and Lachlan before we saw them truly kiss in the flesh. Kiss in the flesh. Their chemistry is undeniable, and Lachlan's mannerisms and expressions are so reminiscent of Jamie that the casting department has genuinely spooked me with their accuracy. I adore that Ailish, a woman, is the central figure of this narrative, and we get so many scenes with her. However, I'm a bit underwhelmed by the scarcity of Lachlan's presence. I just don't think we see enough of him. My hope is that, now that the clan leadership is settled, we'll see more of Ailish and Lachlan together, allowing us to witness more of their unfolding story. Oh, poor Duncan. This Duncan feels so profoundly different from the one we knew in Highland Echoes. The Highland Echoes Duncan struck me as far more formidable and courageous, whereas this version is more innocent and gentle. Is it his youth? And does the heartbreak of the woman he loves being in love with his closest friend transform him into the Duncan we remember from Highland Echoes? I truly wish Lachlan had confessed his feelings for Ailish to him from the outset, right in this very episode. But it seems the drama will persist, and that confrontation is being saved for later. The School of the Moon. Before this episode, I had no idea what that phrase signified. Apparently, it refers to the ancient ways warriors learned and honed their tradition of midnight cattle raids under the pale moonlight. It was a practice spanning generations throughout both the 17th and 18th centuries. As we witnessed, it was a crucial method for clan warriors to demonstrate their intellect and strength. Yet both brothers, Callum and Dougal, failed this arduous test, leading their father to choose neither of them as his successor. As the preceding 3 episodes have clearly illustrated, he would much rather have chosen Ailish. But being a woman, that simply wasn't an option. Still, Ailish proved in this episode that she'd excel beyond anyone. Ailish is sharp. You can clearly see where Jamie inherits some of his intelligence and strategic prowess from his mother, because Ailish demonstrated here that she's the sharpest of all the siblings. She could devise a plan and execute it flawlessly without any of them catching on. Knowing that neither of her brothers could stand strong on his own, she realized they'd be more formidable together, harmonizing their distinct qualities. She also subtly revealed that she'd be pulling the strings from behind the scenes by relaying her strategies to Laird Alistair. Speaking of Alistair, I have a question. Is Laird Alistair in love? We can see he respects Ailish, but I sense something more there. As if he harbors feelings for her, yet understands a marriage is impossible, given he's merely a legal advisor and she's from a powerful clan. This might be a huge leap, but when they were at the inn, the proprietress asked if he wanted the usual, and I have a feeling his usual is a redhead like Ailish. We might see this unfold in upcoming episodes, but as I said, I might be overthinking it. Do you think Alistair has feelings for Ailish? Let me know your theories in the comments. The ending, it wasn't hard to predict from this episode's preview that Mistress Morag would discover Elara's pregnancy and try to help her. For a maid whose husband is nowhere to be found, being pregnant without a present father would be incredibly difficult. Given what we know of the Lord's character, he wouldn't tolerate a pregnant maid and would resort to forceful measures to get rid of the baby. I think Morag was right about that. So Elara entering his room was not what we wanted to see, but it was a necessary evil if she wanted to carry her pregnancy to term. Lord Maxwell wouldn't have any qualms about another illegitimate child. As we know from Lachlan, who is Morag's son. Initially, when they didn't show which room Elara entered, I silently prayed it would be Lachlan's, because even if he wasn't with her, he's the kind of man who would, in a way, assume fatherhood of the child if he knew. But I'm guessing Elara didn't want to burden Lachlan with that position and instead sought out the man who had already made unsettling advances toward her. I truly don't want it to happen, but in her desperate situation, wanting her child to survive, it was arguably the bravest and most cunning move she could have made. Perhaps, just perhaps, there's still hope that it won't actually transpire. Maybe an emergency will occur in the dead of night and someone will rush in to stop them. What are your thoughts? Do you think they'll go through with it or will something intervene? Tell me in the comments. Episode 4 trailer. Episode 4 is titled The Warrior's Lament. And from the preview, it appears it will focus more on Ilara and Finnegan rather than Ailish and Lachlan. The preview opens with a scene of Finnegan and Ilara in the 20th century, suggesting flashbacks are in store. From the looks of it, Ilara is pregnant with Clara as Finnegan is seen touching her belly. In the second episode, when they married quickly, Finnegan was on leave, so he must have returned to the conflict. And then, upon his return, he likely discovered Ilara was already pregnant with their child. In another scene, Finnegan is talking to someone, but their identity is unknown. It could be Laird Alistair or someone from the Maxwell clan. We know he's still searching for Ilara, and the rest of the trailer hints that while Finnegan is looking for her, Ilara will already be hatching her own scheme to find him, thanks to a pact with Lachlan. I'm unsure what Ilara is doing in the scene where she's holding a cup. Is that the concoction Mistress Morag mentioned to help Ilara end her pregnancy, or is she simply serving someone water? The pact I mentioned involves Ilara delivering a message from Lachlan to Ailish, which is how they form a friendship. In exchange for Ilara's help, Lachlan will aid her escape. Unfortunately, there's another distressing scene with Ilara and Lord Maxwell, which I'll just gloss over. I don't want to dwell on it. In another scene, we see Ailish and Callum discussing her marriage to Sir Reginald Maxwell and how she would become a member of that clan once the marriage is finalized, and how she must be loyal to her new home, not the MacLeods. I don't understand why Callum is angry. He wasn't expecting Ailish to assist him when he forcefully married her off to someone else, was he? The trailer also reveals that Finnegan is now tasked with collecting debts for the Maxwells, a role he dislikes because he's told to use force. We see old McGregor warning him that if he doesn't perform his duty, he'll be the one to lose his head. We also witness Ilara and Ailish meeting for the very first time. This is incredibly exciting. I can't believe we're seeing Jamie's mother and Claire's mother meet at all. There's another scene with Finnegan and Mac